Hey guys, my name is Chris. Welcome to another video. This is my everyday carry. These are videos that I love to watch personally, so I hope you enjoy it. This is how I tend to think about everyday carry from a standpoint of a father of four, a multiple business owner, somebody who's pretty active. This is how I've designed my kit so that it can be nimble and efficient and move with me on a daily basis. So I think of my gear in terms of three lines. I've got my first line gear, which is what I'm carrying or wearing on me all the time. Second line gear lives in my backpack. It's usually with me 95% of the time. And then third line gear is something that's going to be stored in another bag, a duffel bag, that might just stay in the car or at a hotel, wherever I might be. And that just tends to be sort of mission specific items, depending on if it's a photo or video day, if it's a range day, if I'm out with the family and I might need extra diapers or who knows what. But that's how I think of it. Today, I want to talk about my first line gear, and that starts with what I wear on my body. I'm a t-shirt and jeans kind of guy, pretty simple. I'm a big fan of Arc'teryx's Atom version series of jackets. They are light, they're warm. I live in the Pacific Northwest, so something with a DWR coating is super important. I think this green jacket that I'm wearing today is about 4 years old. It shows signs of wear, but it's super comfortable. They keep on ticking. I usually get a new one of these every year and then take the old ones and put them into more utilitarian roles, either workout jackets, something of that nature. But that's what I wear. It's kind of unassuming, but for me, super functional and can help keep me comfortable in a variety of temperatures and situations. So getting into the actual kit, which is probably what most of you want to see, the number one most important piece of my everyday carry is going to be my phone. Comms are essential. When you don't have them, you really feel the pain. And so my phone of choice has always been an iPhone. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I know I'm probably going to get some hate from Android users out there. As long as you know how to use the tools you carry, I don't really think it matters which ones you select. I'm pretty heavily invested in the Apple ecosystem, so I've got an iPhone. I will say this 15 Pro Max is my least favorite iPhone that I've had. This crashes more than I'd like to admit. It seems buggier. Not sure what's up with that, but I'll probably upgrade here at some point soon as I can. It's naked right now just for this video because I think it looks better that way, but I do usually have a thin, somewhat protective case on it, just enough to withstand some drop protection and hopefully keep my screen from cracking as long as possible. So this goes everywhere with me. It's my main content creation tool. It films the kids. You know, everybody uses a phone, they know what that's all about. Next up is going to be a watch. I always have a watch on me, except for right now while I'm filming because they're both on the table. I tend to wear both of these at some point every day. So if I'm working out, which typically I'm doing for an hour to 2 hours a day, it's gonna be the Garmin Fenix 8 Amoled. This is my favorite sports watch for a number of reasons, primarily just the look and the battery life. So compared to something like an Apple Watch Ultra 2, which you're having to charge every day or every other day, I get a good 2 weeks of battery life out of this under typical usage. And that's including, you know, like I said, an hour and a half workout a day that, you know, typically is using GPS. That's fantastic. It's super convenient. It's very robust. I think the biggest weakness on this watch is actually the strap that they come with. I find them super annoying, so I am gonna look for a third-party aftermarket solution for that, but that's a pretty quick fix. This is an upgrade for me coming from the old Garmin Epix Gen 2, I think it was. And what really sold me, as chintzy as it seems, is the flashlight on this watch. So currently it's set to the red light. I usually have it in this setting just to help preserve some night vision and not be so bright at night. But I use this multiple times every evening. I find it's a lot handier than getting my phone out of my pocket. And having the red light feature is really key because it's less annoying to everybody around me. If I'm out doing photography work at night, using this helps preserve my night vision while I'm adjusting camera settings. So surprisingly, this feature has been super handy, and I highly recommend everybody check out the Garmin Fenix 8 series. The AMOLED version, the screen is way better than the standard Fenix 8 screen. Honestly, I don't really see much of a use case for that unless you are really concerned about extreme battery life. But for me, 14 days is plenty, and I'll take the nicer screen interface any day. If I'm not wearing the Garmin, I'm wearing a mechanical watch, maybe it's old fashioned. I just love it. I love the quality, the precision and engineering that mechanical watches bring. For the last year or so, my go-to has been the Tudor FXD Black. This has been on my wrist every single day since I got it. It is a fantastic watch for a number of reasons. One, it's pretty low profile in terms of how much attention it attracts. The titanium on there isn't as flashy as something like my Rolex Submariner. I do love the no date dial. It's really symmetrical. The bezel action is absolutely beautiful. And I have it paired to a Bark & Jack dark gray NATO strap. I can't remember the exact type of material. This is their newer version, but it has held up fantastic after almost a year of constant use. It's super comfortable. It dries quickly. I think it matches the aesthetic of the watch perfectly, and so I'll keep it on there. This was a great upgrade from the Velcro and rubber strap that the FXD came from Tudor with. I'm actually looking to upgrade most of my watch straps or bands to NATO straps, just because I think it increases the wearability of my watches significantly. All right, so moving on from the watches, next item I have with me that's probably the most important is going to be my wallet. I guess some could argue that this might be the most important thing too. This is just a $12 cheapy leather wallet from Amazon. I do like these single fold wallets. I don't want something, you know, really obnoxiously thick in my pocket. It's usually carrying about 6 credit cards for personal and business use. I'll have my driver's license in here, obviously, a Tesla key card if that's the car I've got with me for the day, and usually a few $100s worth of cash. I think it's always smart to carry emergency cash. Wherever you are in the world, you know, cash talks, cash is king. I am looking for suggestions. If somebody has another wallet of this type that they really like, I'd like to change this one out. But again, trying to prioritize the slim form factor so it slips into a pocket easy. And if I do end up sitting on it while I'm driving, you know, even though I try not to do that, it's a little more comfortable than something that's, you know, really, really massive. So got that. Next up is my knife. My knife of choice is the Benchmade Mini Griptilian. I've had this for several years. The blade has taken some abuse and really held up, but main reasons I like this are its form factor. When folded, it is really small, fits into the pocket. I can wear this with jeans, I can wear it with dress pants, I can wear it with a suit, and because it's all black and it's thin, it doesn't attract any attention. I have very rarely any need for a fixed blade knife because I'm not typically doing any significant cutting. This is used for everyday tasks, which for most of us is opening Amazon boxes. It's also, you know, a mode of self-defense if I need it. But yeah, this knife does everything I need. It feels great in the hand. I think you call it the jimping on it. The actual form factor just fits into my hand really, really well. I do love that I can use it one-handed, and that's a beautiful thing. As a lefty, I have swapped the belt clip to be on the other side of what it comes from the factory, and that just allows me to pull it out of my pocket, flip it open with my left hand and get to work. So that's my knife of choice. Next up would be sunglasses. I always have a pair of sunglasses with me. Having these to protect my eyes is essential. I've had Oakley, I think these are the frog skins now, for about 3 years. They're definitely due for an upgrade because the lenses are scratched up and beat to hell. Next up are keys. I don't always have a set of keys with me, but the car I've been driving lately is my new Lexus GX 550. It's awesome. Gonna do a review video on it soon. And I keep just the key fob on me. I don't attach any of my other keys that I might need for the day on here because I want my pockets to be as light and feel as unencumbered as possible. So all of my keys that I might need for work or for other activities, they're gonna be in my backpack. So one thing that's missing from my kit that a lot of other people will talk about in their EDC videos is a flashlight. I don't really feel the need for that. I've got one on my phone. I have one on my watch that's been super effective. And again, my goal is to be as light and mobile as possible. I don't want my pockets sagging with a whole bunch of extra stuff. You know, I'm having to bend down and pick up my kids, you know, 100 times a day. And I want to be extremely comfortable while I do it. So my entire kit has been built out to achieve that goal. It's minimal. It does the job as I need it, but if I need anything more, that stuff is typically going to be in a backpack somewhere close by, and I don't need it on my person. One thing I do want to address from an everyday carry perspective is it's not just all about the gear, right? The gear is fun. I think we like to talk about it and obsess about it and constantly improve what we're carrying with us on a daily basis. But the most important thing you're bringing with you every day is yourself. So staying in shape, training physically, training mentally, to be sharp, to be really aware of everything that's going on around you. You are literally your most important everyday carry tool. So constantly work to refine that. I think that's my one piece of advice if you're here and you're willing to listen to it. You are the most important tool in your arsenal, so you need to constantly be honing it and sharpening it. Otherwise, if you're not prepared physically or mentally to respond to a situation, none of this stuff matters. You can have the fanciest piece of kit in the world, it's not going to do you a damn bit of good. So that's why I'm a big believer in exercise and fitness, getting good sleep, good nutrition, all of that stuff. These items pale in comparison to how important those things are. Actually was just out at the fitness club the other day. I was getting ready to play tennis. It's just something I love to do. And I noticed across the room that one of the employees was running, grabbing the AED off the wall. And so just by being aware of my surroundings and paying attention to what was going on, I was able to recognize instantly somebody's in trouble, somebody's probably having a heart attack. So I ran up with that employee to one of the other courts in the facility, and sure enough, there was a gentleman on the ground, non-responsive, not breathing, no pulse. So I was able to take the AED, apply the pads, run the analysis. I delivered a shock, and a friend and I started CPR. And after a few rounds, we were able to revive the gentleman. And so just one example of being prepared with training. So either tactical training, first aid training is super important, especially if you have a family, and just being aware of what's going on around you so that you can respond to a situation if it arises. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was interesting. I hope you learned something. Please, if you have any suggestions on how I can improve my kit, I would love to hear it, especially my wallet, looking for a new wallet. So leave it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.